My distinct honor to invite Your Excellency to come and address the new graduates, those who are about to graduate. Thank you very much.
The Chief of Defense Forces, the Deputy Chief of Defense Forces, all the other commanders, the Ministry of Defense leaders, the leaders of the districts, all the other army leaders, and the wananchi of Nakaseke. First of all, I want to congratulate the young soldiers for doing a good job in training. And at the end of my few remarks, I will pass them out. I want to thank the instructors for training you very well. Before we came here, we witnessed some exercises which were excellently executed. And those showed that the training had. I also want to thank the CDF and his commanders for bringing a new spirit in the UPDF. New spirit of fighting corruption, which was beginning to show up in the army, and emphasizing professionalism and lethality of the army. The army must be lethal. The army should be sharp, not blunt. And that's what the CDF has been talking about here. As I made the remarks when we were down there in the exercises, fighting is about two things: offense and defense. From ancient times, the spear, the arrow, and the shield. How to defend yourself and how to attack the enemy. And as the CDF said, these are all the time evolving. It is therefore very crucial for the army to keep pace, not to lag behind. When the army lags behind in technology and fighting skills and organization, the country is in danger. That's what had happened to Africa in the past. Africa was colonized because our chiefs did not keep up with technology, did not keep up with organization of security, and did not unite to work together. So therefore, I'm very happy with the CDF's emphasis on professionalism and enhancing lethality of the army. Also, using the money of the army well to solve the problems of welfare, infrastructure, training, health, and so on. I'm therefore very happy to see all these new ideas, including this one, because in the past we used to spend a lot of time. I remember in 1979, when we were reorganizing UNLA, we had trainees in Kabamba, trainees in Mbende, Nakasongola, and some other places. So with Vinaisa, we had to go to every cantonment to pass them out, repeat the same thing. So here we would have had to go to Labordong, from there we go to Uririm, from there we go to Ruhengere, and so on. But this innovation by CDF and his commanders, that we can do it at one place and we share virtually using technology, represents the spirit of innovation and transformation, which is very good for the army. Now, you, the young people, as the CDF told you, this is the beginning of your career. I have been involved with the army for the last 55 years. From 1971 up to now, I'm always involved with the army. But you can't do that if you are not medically fit. Even today, if you need any long walking, I can be with you. You can't leave me behind. So, looking after your life so that you remain fit is fair for yourself, fair for the army, and fair for your family. Because it is not fair for us to train you and for your family to educate you, and then the army which has just recruited you, now we find that you are medically unfit now. You will have let us down. Let yourself down and also let us down. So it's very good that you look after yourselves so that you can be able to serve your country for a long time. Now, when I came here, the commander briefed me about vandalism of electricity. I had heard about this, that there are people who are stealing metro parts of the electricity transmission lines. But I've already written to the Minister of Energy and directed her to work with the CDF, who can coordinate all the forces, police, intelligence, and the others, so that we crush this group of vandalists who are sabotaging the economy. We shall deal with them. They will find solutions to make sure that this does not happen again. Now, finally, bangira ngo abantu baitu ba Kamusenene n'ebicweka ebyo nibababinga omu kibira ngu n'ekibira that our people in that area are being chased for the forest reserve. I will not support that. I will not want them to be evicted. It is true. It is true that that is part of the forest reserve, but it is a forest reserve which was not a chibira, because our languages are very clear. There is a chibira, which means the natural forest, like Semuriki, like Chibare, like Maramagambo, like Bugoma forest, like Budongo forest, like Mabira. These are known. These were the natural forests, like the one which was put in Tanzania, Mzeiro Takwa. These were forests, Ebira. But then the colonial government, with good reason, declared Ishwa. Ishwa is not a chibira. Ishwa is bushland or savanna. Declared them forest reserves. I think the plan was to planted trees for furniture, for firewood. At that time they were still using firewood even for the train. That's why they were having these forest reserves. Now, these were put in places where people were living, like that Kamsenene. That's a cattle corridor area. It's not a forest. But it's no problem if they are declared it a forest reserve. The forest authority can retain the freehold title, but give leases to the people who are already there. 49 years renewable if you do it well, where they can do some animal, because it is mainly a cattle area, do some animal breeding, do some crops, but also plant some trees which they are told to plant, like for instance plant mangoes, oranges, because those are also plants, but they are agroforestry plants. So this is what I'm going to work on. Mbagambira baliche kweralichirira mulibaza ko babingabo kuba ninja kureba ngo nabanywanisa na National Forest Authority. With these few words, it is my pleasure to pass out the new soldiers who have just graduated. Congratulations.